So, more problems with Eva. You see the truck over there? We got the cord all strung to the battery. It died. I left it here to fix, and see what was wrong. And they parked it here, but they left the battery on. And you have to turn it off if you're going to be parking it long term because it drains the battery. So it died. He said we have to wait 15 to 20 minutes for the battery to recharge. So I'm going to go and sit down on the sofa and wait for him to wave and go, it's finished. All right, come on. Okay, so I dropped it off at Trailer Craft for, to get checked out, see all the stuff with Eva. And they said that the power steering fluid needed to be flushed, get the old out. It looked dirty, so he needed to get the old fluid out. And the brakes also needed the fluids flushed out and put in new fluid. So, those two things, that's not bad. It's better than the $5,000 they said to fix it. And the back door, the rod that closes, there's like a steel rod that goes up into a hole at the top to lock it. They said they'd have to weld a new extension piece. So, that's pretty good. So it doesn't need a lot to fix. So good, that's good. But the battery died. So now I have to sit here and wait 15 or 20 minutes and then I can drive back home. Ugh. So many things. Oh well. Well, hello. Welcome back to Traveling CODA. Today we are going to be giving you a lot of news. What's happening? You see us back in Eva. And Eva, I just picked up from the mechanic. Remember the list of things we were going to get to look at. The mechanic did test the motor, said it was good. No issues there. The power steering fluid was dirty. Need to replace that. And the brake fluid needs to be replaced. It was dirty too. So, that's not really terrible. Nothing there. So just needs some fluids replaced, so that's good news. Still having the problem with the windshield, the glass, it's all cracked. It's starting to run a little bit more. It's a little longer. Before it was about this length, now it's all the way down. The door, we're still struggling with the door and the keys. So remember I told you about the house. They were putting it on the market to sell. Whoo, wow. I mean, really, it is a seller's market. I mean, really, so fast. The first day, people came in to see it, and they immediately wanted to put their bid in, and very competitive. So, yeah, it looks like it's actually going to go through real fast and sell, and probably in a month, we're going to have to be out. So, Summer and I were really worried. What do we do? We're not ready. We're struggling with these things to fix. What do we do? What do we do? We're really worried because where are we going to go live? So we decided to go ahead and just look on Facebook Marketplace. And we went to an RV dealer. And we decided to go ahead and just look for something that's finished, something that's ready to move in and go. No building, no improvements, because it takes time and we don't have the time to do it. So we went to an RV dealer. Oh my goodness. Sold. And we're looking around and almost all of the RVs, the trailers, they were all almost sold. And finally, we saw some truck toppers there on the back where you get so tiny. Too small for us and 2 dogs. That's just not enough room. And finally, we looked at something, but it was too expensive. The Class A's. Oh, well, that's not the sign. No. Like a Class A. The big motor homes. Ooh, too expensive for us. We can't afford that. And so sold. Whew. So we went in and we asked the guy, hey, where's some available? And he says, I think we have about 220 RVs that we're waiting to get shipped. but because of COVID, the production has been real slow and they just have to wait. He's like, yeah, I ordered them, but I'm just waiting on them to arrive. So I was like, ooh, okay. So Summer and I looked on Facebook Marketplace and we looked. Oh, I am not even exaggerating at all. Mm-mm. I mean, it's like 30 minutes and it's sold. Sold. Any RVs? You're like, hey, you call? Nope, sorry. It's sold. You were fourth or fifth person in line. Fourth or fifth, that means it's already sold. And sure enough, it'd be sold. I'm like, and we struggled. And it's so fast here. They just sell. Or they're too expensive. They cost too much. Or they're too old and damaged and we don't want that. So I think it was last week. Yeah, last week. Summer, had to go and they were talking about the house and the contracts and they decided on that one. And so she was sitting and waiting on me to come by and pick her up and scrolling through Facebook Marketplace. And she says, well, this one's already been on there for 30 minutes, so it's probably already sold. But I said, do you want me to go ahead and call? I can. So I called and he said I was third in line. The first one said they didn't want it. They decided. And the second person hadn't showed up yet. I said, well, can I head that way? And if they buy it, let me know. I'll turn around and come back home. And he's like, yeah, sure, come on. So I hurried up and went and picked up Summer. And we drove over there. And the second person didn't show up. And Summer and I looked at it. And we really liked it. It was perfect for what we need. It's the perfect size, not too big. It already has everything ready. So, Summer's going to explain a little bit more what she thought about it. And I will show you a little bit next week. Yeah, I'm sure you're curious what we bought. So, yeah, we did already buy it. And Eva, we're going to have to sell. It just didn't work out for us, which is a little disappointing, but it just went so fast. There's not enough time to do the improvements on it. The glass we're having a difficult time with, and it's almost so overwhelming and frustrating, and it just better just to be done with it. Clean this up, sell it, everything we bought, sell it back on Facebook Marketplace, and just go with a different story, and that'll start next week. Okay, well, I will show you a little snapshot. And then we'll go more in depth with the tour next week. Okay, thank you for watching and hope to see you next week. All right, bye-bye.